It's feeling like Tuesday in here, y'all. DJ Red Corvette flamed the turntables just now. I know a lot of y'all are sweating. It's okay. It's okay. You can simmer down while you listen to this very, very, very important conversation from incredible experts in their lane about artificial intelligence, right? So this panel discussion is called Hire a Tool, Chat GPT and Friends. And if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, just sit in place and you will. If you do know what I'm talking about, but are intimidated today about using these tools and figuring out where to plug it into your business, all good. We have the right people in the house today, okay? So digest this next hour, okay? I want you to challenge yourself. So really search everything we're talking about and then implement. All right, so before we get into it, I'm gonna let these ladies introduce themselves. Each of you, please take up space. Let us know how you even got into your entrepreneurial journey and what you do today with your companies. Flo, let's start with you.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. And I also kind of caution, I don't really call myself an expert. Why? Because technology is moving at such a fast rate that even I struggle to keep up as a techie. However, so I have spent over 10 years in the technology sector. I have experience with corporate technology operations and telecommunications. I'm also a Juris Doctorate, so I'm also a lawyer, and I'm still a licensed lawyer on top of that. I am also the co-founder and chief operating officer for a DEI technology company. We're doing DEI a little bit differently. We're helping organizations optimize and really maximize their DEI strategic initiatives by leveraging technology and data analytics. I am also the creator of a show that is called Get Tech Smart, where I talk all things tech in my state. I interview tech, I guess, experts, if we want to use the word experts. We talk about all things from artificial intelligence to cybersecurity to everything that's going on, from tech layoffs and lack of diversity in technology. So I call myself a tech baddie. So I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. I love that tech daddy. I'll say tech daddy instead of expert if that feels good. I like that. We'll keep it rolling. TC, we're going to kick it over to you. Let us know what you do with your company and how you stepped into entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm very excited about this already. My name is TC. Aside from the fact that I love technology because it literally saved my life, right? I've been able to use it to the past 8 years plus in creating effective systems, building those funnels to bring in consistent income for women in business so they're able to live the lifestyle that they deserve and desire. I literally use technology to bring in money, right? Money, technology is my game. Well, they call me the automation queen because all things back end, just to help you create the lifestyle that you deserve, is my gem. I'm actually currently working on my own online course platform. It's still in the pipeline. I'm still working on it. So I'm so excited to share that, but that's still in the pipeline. Thank you.
Thank you, TC. And where are you based, Mama?
Yes, I'd love to add that. Okay, so I'm Nigerian, but currently based in the UK.
Ah, nice. All right, so we're spanning across 3 different continents right now. I'm in Nairobi, Kenya. We have the UK from Europe present and the US based baddies. I'm gonna start using that, tech baddies, in this conversation as well, which is so important, right? Because AI, artificial intelligence, right? Automation, machine learning, etc. It's really shaking up the entire globe, right? And we need to make sure that Black women understand how to use this, right? How to replace humans with it during recessionary times where cash flow is very, very tight. We need to make sure that you know that you do not need tons of dollars. You don't need venture capital money. You don't need loans, okay? You don't need angel investors to tap into this today. So please, everybody, tap into this, because our intention today is make sure that you know how to go beyond doing Google searches where you're piecemealing information. You have this blog, you have that blog, right? And actually use bots that can talk to you just the way you talk to other people, okay? So we're gonna dive into this thing. Ladies, I actually wanna start with understanding how you can use AI for practical things, right? How are you using AI today for practical things? I know for me, if I'm going on a trip, I'll say, give me a 7-day itinerary for South Africa, right? And if I'm not hopping around, I'll say Cape Town, right? That's my fave. And I have a bomb schedule, right? So I'd love to hear from you all. How are you using it today in TC? Especially you talked about saving money. If you could give some light on that lens, especially, that'd be great.
So currently I'm playing around with a couple of tools that help with building websites, especially for startup entrepreneurs that are, like trying to save money, and they're like, I can't hire a website developer to help. So I use Gamma right now to just fast track the entire process. So that would help you create at least your one web page to help you get started. Everything you need, literally, it's just that one-stop shop you want to have, especially for your website. You can create that within that platform. You can either export it or import it, whichever, but it's time saving, it's money saving, and it gives you step-by-step everything you need basically on your website. I play around with a couple of tools, really, especially when maybe, for example, I am short of ideas. ChatGPT is one tool that I want to play around with, so they're just a couple of tools. But for women, growing, scaling their business, you want to start with either having a website or, one space. Gamma is one place that I would say start with because it helps you get started real good.
I love that, TC. And you said a word that I want to make sure that everybody listening understands. TC says scaling your business. There's a difference between growing in revenue, right? Growing in customers and scaling your business. Scaling is when you increase your revenue without an equal increase in time spent, money spent, people leveraged. Like, that is scale, right? Having those dollars go up and your bottom line exponentially growing too, right? So exactly, I love that. Building a whole website without hiring a developer, genius. Flo, do you have anything else to share about the way that you're using artificial intelligence today in your business or even in your life?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. One of the things I always joke and say is I'm a broke entrepreneur, right? And I joke about that because, I'm a former bankruptcy attorney. So I'm very frugal when it comes to budgeting. But I mean, let's be real. A lot of entrepreneurs, when they're starting out, they just don't have a lot of money. Some people are starting with a $0 budget. And some people might just have, hey, I got $500, okay? So how do you make that work, right? How are you gonna hire employees to help you jumpstart your business when you have $0 or you got $500? And this is where artificial intelligence comes in, right? AI is super smart. And one of the things that a lot of people are loving about AI is its ability to kind of do more than one person's job. The ability to analyze data quickly and massive amount of data that me as an average human, I can't do. So what does that mean? Maybe you're selling products, how are you keeping track of the products that your customers actually like? The products that are selling the best, doing well, versus the products that are not doing well. And this is where small business owners can start leveraging artificial intelligence, because there are software that are on the market right now. One great example, Google Analytics, for example. It can help you track the traffic. It can help you kind of get a sense of what your customers like and the things they're not clicking on. That's one simple example. And everybody right now is talking about ChatGPT. We're seeing it everywhere. Unless if you live in a cave, you might not know about it. But ChatGPT is the hottest craze right now. And it's great for someone like me who is also a content creator. Sometimes I might say, oh my God, I have this idea of a speech, but I don't know what to call it, right? I want it to be a hot title that's going to be captivating, but I might be having writer's block. So, how do I come up with an idea of that speech? then I will go to ChatGPT and just give it those kind of references of what I'm looking for in my title, and boom. The other thing, because I write a lot, especially for DI directive, I'm the COO, but I'm also overseeing the marketing. I'm also doing the blogs. And because I'm writing a lot, I want to make sure that my grammar and my sentence structure looks okay, right? And so I use Grammarly. It's embedded on my phone, in my emails, on all my social media. And that's the one key thing we've got to remember, is that with a lot of this artificial intelligence, we can integrate it to our other softwares. And that's where we're able to really get the full benefits of leveraging artificial intelligence.
Love that. And I appreciate you, Flo, for like putting it in across several different examples. Because I see the chat. I know a lot of bells are going off for people, right? On things they're already doing every day. Like, this is accessible for Black women. You don't have to be someone else, right? Like, you don't have to like up your game, like be it until you see it. Like literally today, like Flo was talking about, like TC is talking about, right? Like, what are the things you're doing right now that you can have an assistant, a lot of times free, right? A bot assistant. I call mine Bianca, okay? Look out for that in the market coming, y'all, because Bianca has to be used by more Black women. But I agree. A client of mine needed a JD a few days ago, a job description for a role they wanted to hire for. I had my bot build it inside of Copy AI. They're using ChatGPT now. They built the entire job description, 2 pages. It was amazing. Popped the logo on there, boop, and it was out, right? And now the resumes are coming in. Love that. Thank you both, ladies. So I think now we can get into some of the good stuff, okay? Which is the controversial stuff, right? Like, we really do need to unpack some of the things that are not Black and white, and some of the things that have, unintended consequences, right? Even when they are good. So Flo, I'm gonna kick this next question over to you, because we need to talk about how AI is disrupting the job market today, right?
Right.
What are some of the ways that AI is replacing the need for hiring people and talent in business today? And does this mean that people are now out of jobs altogether? Does it mean something else? What would you say?
Right. So what I would say is this, let's be real, right? Some of the jobs that AI is replacing are things that people don't want to do anyway. Okay, so that's the first part I always say. Like, when you go to the checkout line, you're going in the checkout line, you're doing quickly on your own. You're not having to stand in line waiting for hours. Things are automated, right? It's about automation, moving things quickly. And for some people, yes, there are reports and data out there that's coming out and has been coming out in the past couple of weeks that is essentially saying AI is going to replace 300,000 jobs. And, those jobs are really in people who are, for example, in the legal industry was one that I saw. And now lawyers are like, oh my God, AI is going to replace us. Now we're going to have robo lawyers running around, but the truth of the matter is that I don't actually like using the word AI is going to replace. I like saying AI is going to assist, because at the end of the day, AI is an assistant. AI is built by humans. AI doesn't build itself. It's built by humans. Humans are still needed to vet AI. Right now, even when you look at OpenAI, for example, they're using humans to continuously train the model to make it better, make the output that it provides you better, and align with essentially what you're telling it to do. It's humans behind the screen. That's why when you go to OpenAI, for example, you will see a lot of cautions that say, be careful what you share, because again, we have humans behind the screen that are going to see this information. So what do, right? Because the other concern is in schools, plagiarism, students using AI essentially to do their homework, write their papers, do their tests. So there's that bigger concern where we also started seeing a lot of schools starting to ban the use of AI on school devices and essentially in the school buildings. The truth of the matter is, I think the ban is the kind of more restrictive solution, which might not be viable. And why might it not be viable is because AI is not going away. And what we might see a replacement in certain jobs, again, which is probably manual, repetitive tasks that humans don't want to do anyway, that can now be automated. And what does that do? It frees time for people to do things that are more needed, more urgent, that allows us to not just sit there like, oh God, here I am back at work. Now I got to keep doing the same thing over and over again. No, now we're needed to do other things that might allow us to really be able to tap more into our intellect, that might allow our organizations to tap more into our qualifications and skills. And then with the demand for AI, we're also seeing the demand for people who know how to use AI models, people who know how to actually help and assist in training the AI models. I'm seeing roles coming on for prompt engineers, and prompt engineers essentially help with training the model, helping it get better in terms of, structuring questions. And that way the AI, again, can be able to better provide output. And those jobs are paying a lot of money. One role that I saw was like $200,000 to $375,000. So yes, there's gonna be some jobs where we're gonna see a shift. But with that shift, we're also going to see a creation of more unique roles coming out, like prompt engineer. Now, going to the school ban, why I'm saying that's a restrictive solution is that our children need to understand how to use technology. Technology is the future. I'm seeing more jobs that are actually requiring people who have the ability to use AI products. Because what's going on? Let's look at it. Google is using AI in their products. Microsoft is using AI in the products. We're seeing, even in the legal industry, I'm seeing more legal technology software that's embedded and integrated with artificial intelligence. So what does that mean? It means we need to know how to use AI products. So restricting AI is the wrong thing to do. We need to teach our students and our kids good technology hygiene, right? How do you use AI, not to cheat, not for plagiarism, but how to use AI to be more productive, right? Because that's essentially why AI is built, is to help us be more productive. So yes, we are going to see some jobs are going to get taken over, but it might not be the job you wanted to do in the first place. So my tip is this to all the women who are listening: start learning how to use AI products. Why? Because then you're going to be in demand. You're going to be in demand. And those salary ranges that we're seeing, where there are 200,000 to 375,000, you will be able to command that pay because you have the capabilities of understanding what artificial intelligence, how to improve the systems, and how to make recommendations on how to better enhance products that we're seeing now on the market.
Thank you, Flo. And I appreciate you for coming at this from so many angles, because this is a very, very, very nuanced discussion, right? Like, much like tech hits every single sector today, right? This disruption from artificial intelligence, it hits every person, every hood, every bubble of, euphoria with people making a whole lot of money. And so I appreciate you speaking from the college students all the way over to jobs, right? Corporate jobs. And I want to also put a plug in for all of the women entrepreneurs right now who are listening to this, who are fearful of not being able to reach these goalposts that we're talking about when we say, yes, engineers are needed, right? I see you. We see you. We see you. And if hood feminism has taught me anything, it's that none of us are free until all of us are free, right? Like none of us have progressed until all of us have progressed, right? And so I want to also let you know that you have a huge opportunity, man, because you're building the thing from scratch, because you don't even need a whole team to do it anymore, because AI is at your fingertips. You can actually zoom past Google. You can zoom past Microsoft. You can zoom past Bank of America, because they're trying to steer a whole ship of 200,000 people, and you got one or two, and you like, bet, let's move this way, right? So I want you to think about yourself as their peers. You should. Right? If we think about Blockbuster, who used to be here, who is not here anymore, something happened with technology and they didn't move. And they moved too slowly. Let's just say they moved too slowly, right? Which is not your problem today, right? Blockbuster saw Netflix come out and start mailing the DVDs and mailing the VHS, but Blockbuster couldn't move fast enough. They kept saying, no, I need y'all to get in your car, drive to the parking lot, walk in the store, go to the shelves, go to the cash register, right? Rent the thing, and then when you're done, bring it back. They didn't move fast enough, right? But small Netflix did, small Redbox did. Redbox said, man, let me put it in the Walmart exit, right? Let me put it in the gas station exit. Right? And then before you knew it, streaming took off overnight, right? Where Blockbuster was out of business and Netflix created a new market for Amazon Prime, right? For Hulu. I could go on, y'all know this, for Apple TV, right? So I see you, sis. And what I promise you is, because you are a small business, you don't have to reach for goalposts you don't care about. You can move faster than them, right? Blaze got a Webby award honoree for our first summit, Bootstrap. It was just case. And I'm like, dang, best in business technology, that's crazy. Using tech, right? That's you, okay? So don't feel discouraged. Just move, pick it up like Flo said. Like the game got to change, right? Like you can be at the front of the line. TC, I want to definitely make sure I'll hear anything you want to add, if you have anything around, you know, this job replacement and this disruption and these fears that are coming up a lot now with AI being so popular.
You know, I was listening to you, Flo, and, you know, I know that in my business right now, AI has literally helped me in growing a lean team. So it's really more about quality, right? However, it's not me saying I'm not hiring more people. It's me saying I'm helping the people that I hire appreciate the output and their level of productivity, right? Because you see, it can be very frustrating if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? Now, but with AI, you enjoy working, you enjoy doing business, you enjoy doing what you love to do. And trust me, you know, every time I have conversations like this, people are always like, AI is going to take up the market space, is going to do this, people are going to be jobless, everybody's just going to go hungry. And I'm like, no, AI cannot do without you as a human. Like AI needs you as much as you think you need AI. So there is no AI without you. Like literally, it's a two-way thing. It's a partnership game, right? Like every time we talk about the tools that we use, our tools are as good as ourselves, right? If we don't tell these tools what to do, they're not able to do it well, like as much as we want them, like the outcome, right? The output, the productivity. Okay, so I was messing around with ChatGPT on one of the trainings that I was having in one of the communities, and somebody said, she's like, TC, what if I say, so she's trying to write a full-blown email sequence, right? And so we're just writing and playing around with it. And she's like, how about I say this? And I said, regardless of what you say, whatever you put in is what you get. Now, AI is not going to manufacture whatever. It's working with you. You make it more intelligent by putting in all of this information. That's how it gets smarter. So you see, there's no way AI is ever going to replace the human element, right? It still needs us. I feel that with AI right now, it only helps humans, we, to stay out of being lazy. It makes us even want to show off as our best self. So I only feel it makes us better. That's what I say.
Agreed.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and
good.
can I add to that what she just said? I think
Yeah.
one of the things that you said, Casey, is that here's the thing that we really didn't touch upon is, yes, right now there's a lot of AI on there, and it's actually a good thing because the market is now flooded with AI products, which makes it more affordable. Right. Because when AI first came out, it was like, hey, there's now, because there's always that kind of digital gap, digital divide in terms of other people who have access to technology, people who can benefit and leverage technology. And for a lot of women and specifically women of color and in marginalized and underrepresented communities, we have tended to be far behind when it comes to technology. For women entrepreneurs and women business owners listening, this is your opportunity to tap into this technology market and create, not just leverage the technology, but create the technology that can benefit businesses like Microsoft, Google, Amazon. I mean, Microsoft has invested billions into OpenAI and ChatGPT. Imagine you being that entrepreneur that Microsoft invests in by creating your own AI tool. So don't look at it as a replacement. Look at it as, how can I leverage this market to create something off my own and make that money? Because TC is all about making that money, right? But you got to leverage, right? And don't be scared. AI is not really as complicated as some people might think. I think being a tech educator as well, being somebody who's actually created artificial intelligence courses, and I'm self-taught. I'm self-taught based on my love for technology and really staying up to date with everything that's going on, is that it's not complicated. What happens is we have a lot of techies out there who kind of explain things in a way that's like, I don't know what the hell they just said right now to me. And that's why for me, as part of my passion for technology and educating others about technologies, I like to take that complicated stuff and kind of break it down and make it simple for people to understand. And AI is not complicated. As Casey said, you have to leverage it. Technology is here. And the data shows, and here's what you need to know. The data shows that businesses and organizations that do not leverage technology will be bankrupt. Let me say that again. Businesses and organizations that do not leverage technology will be bankrupt. Because just as we are trying as entrepreneurs to leverage technology to make us more productive, as TC says, free up our time, free up my time to speak to my customers, get to know my customers, because now I'm not having to do repetitive tasks that keep me away from my customers. Now I have free time. Right? Businesses that are doing that, customers notice, right? Customers are now looking for organizations and businesses that are tech savvy, right? People now are like, hey, can I pay with my card? Can I pay digitally? Can I use, a digital wallet to make a payment? Customers are starting to look for easy ways they can purchase products and get services. And they're looking for organizations and businesses that are digitally savvy.
That's right, Flo. Amen to all of that. And I'm happy we are hitting all of these points, because these are the fears that keep us up at night, right? I mean, it's not easy when you're bootstrapping and like literally trying to hang on by a thread, but like, these are all the elements of bend, don't break, right? Yes, it is difficult, right? To change and be uncomfortable. Like, yes, there is always something to learn, because doggone it, technology keeps changing, right? But like Flo said, your customers want it, actually, right? True fact, check Forbes if you don't believe me. Between February 2020 and April 2020, few short months, 41% of all Black-owned businesses in the United States failed. Why? Because shelter-in-place orders went into effect and they could not survive. They did not have digital presence. They did not have a way for folks to digitally check out so they could just ship it to them. They did not. 41% of all Black-owned businesses failed between February 2020 and April 2020, right? And so it is, you can't afford not to create the website with Gamma, you know, just because you don't have money, right, to hire a developer, right? Like you can't afford not to. So definitely lean into this stuff, right? And we'll make sure I'll run a similar question back one more time, just to make sure that you know, you can write down the names of all of our favorite tools. We want you edified, because like Flo just said, right? Like this actually makes it cheaper, right, for folks to use best in class, world-class language, world-class references, world-class examples, right? So it actually shrinks the divide, right? Because it used to be that if you did not go to Harvard, right? If you did not pay $200,000 to get into this club where information was being exchanged, you were gatekept, right? That's not, I'm a living testament to that. I've literally been traveling around the world with a laptop for 2 years, and somehow, like so many people, you know, no blaze because of tech, right? So let's sit on this a little longer, ladies, if you don't mind, just so folks who are ready to start writing some things down, because I feel people kind of hot with it now, like y'all believe in us now, just so they can write it down. I'll say a couple of the tools that I use and what I use it for, and then we'll go around just so you all can write this stuff down and start, right? Just start somewhere, right? So Otter AI, OTTER.ai is a tool that we use inside of Blaze to have a bot join our conversations on Zoom. The bot joins our conversations on Google Meets, and it transcribes the whole thing. And it even says, like, it guesses who's talking, like Casey said this, Hannah said that, right? It's amazing, right? It's amazing. And it can even record the conversation if you wanted to record, if you wanted to do like meeting notes, like it'll take bullets and stuff and share it with everybody right after. That's Otter AI. We use that. Microsoft has a tool called Bing Image Creator. I'm really pushing my graphic designer to use this more and more, because you can give it a sentence and it will create a picture for free from whatever you said, right? And we all know that searching for stock images of Black women that don't look ridiculous is hard to come by, right? And so inside of Blaze, we're working to like create the things we don't see today, right? And really take like, what if she on the moon? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if one day she's like the Jetsons because she's so dope in tech, right? We're using Bing Image Creator to make images with that. Vidyo.ai, VIDYO.ai is an AI tool that takes your long form videos and it literally slices up the best pieces based on what people are searching on the internet. That's dope. It's taking the words from the internet and slicing the best clips from your long form and templatizing it with your brand color so that in literally 60 seconds, you have these sound bites to post across social media. That is AI, right? I'll give one more that we use pretty heavily. There are tons, but Copy AI is one of my absolute faves. It will write blog posts for you. I mean, it does a lot of stuff, right? But blogs are something that we really love doing inside of Blaze to really edify folks perpetually, right, for years to come. And Copy AI will create blogs for you. And they also have this chat integration from ChatGPT now where you can just ask it questions. Like you could literally say, I'll give an example of something I've said recently. My fiance is a designer, a fashion designer. And I said, what are the names of the best mills in China? The thing gave me addresses, names, streets, phone. I mean, just amazing, okay? So yeah, those are some of the tools and the names of the tools and how you can use them. Flo, we'll go to you and then TC. What are the tools that you're using today so folks can write them down and Google them for their businesses?
Yeah, like, you know, so as I mentioned before, Grammarly is like my number one too. Just because I write a lot. And even though I was an English major, you know, sometimes the grammar, you know, you're quickly, you know, just trying to get things out and you've got spelling mistakes. And there's nothing worse than when you send that email and then you go back to read it and you're like, oh my God, I literally sounded like deranged, right? And that's, so that's what I love about the tool, because it essentially will redline your even my like my social media posts, even my text messages. I have it integrated on my desktop. So anything that I'm essentially writing, whether it's Twitter or a Facebook post or a LinkedIn, it will edit. Even if I'm on TikTok writing, a caption from my video, it will edit and correct spelling mistakes. One thing that I'm noticing with Grammarly right now is they're stepping up their AI game. They have a beta testing right now where they're doing something similar to Chat GPT, where I was writing an email the other day and it said, hey, would you like us to suggest how to respond back? And I played around with it and I hit yes, suggest. And it essentially is looking at the email that I got and then writing up a response without me having to type up. It's doing the work for me, which again, another way for me to be productive and save time. Because you can imagine as business owners, when you're out there, and I go to a lot of networking events, and when I come back, I'm emailing people back. So having that ability to automate some of those emails that are coming in and responses that are coming in really frees up my time to do other things. Chat GPT, I'm a fan. Right now I'm using the free version. So let's remember that some of these products do give you the ability to try them out for free. So you don't have to break your wallet and go in the negative. So I've been trying it out. And again, I like it for just getting ideas of the content I can create. When Chat GPT first came out, it was only limited to essentially data that was only up to 2021. They've now since kind of have opened up the ability to integrate it with other search engines. So I'm on the waiting list for that. I signed up where I'm able to essentially integrate it with other search engines so that I can expand my search of topics past 2021. And it's also great for doing research. Hey, what does X, Y, and Z? Or for example, somebody posted a case that happened in the Supreme Court. And I didn't want to go and do the research myself and spend hours trying to break down what the case said. So I just went to Chat GPT and said, hey, what happened with, Paul versus Paul? And summarize it for me. And it did that. It sent me the summary and I was like, oh, okay, that's what the person was trying to say. One AI tool that I just downloaded recently is called Buffer. And Buffer is supposed to essentially, listen, I'm on so many social media platforms. Okay, I can't keep up with every comment that comes in. And Buffer essentially helps you can integrate your social media platforms and it'll notify you when you have comments. And better yet, it'll notify you with the most recent. Maybe you missed a comment. I just really pride myself in trying to respond when people leave a comment on my post. But the reality is I can't respond to 100 or 200 posts timely, right? So having that notification to say, hey, here are the posts that you need to respond and here's the order in which they came in. That's like absolutely like fantastic. And the other unlikely tools that people don't even think about that use AI, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. These are all AI algorithms, right? They have the AI algorithms that help you not only as a user, does it help me filter through content that relates to me and the things that I like, but as business owners, we can also leverage those tools to attract our customers, right? To attract our customers. So when you look at AI tools, don't just think about these big names like Chat GPT and Grammarly and Midjourney, for example, where you can kind of create photos or other tools out there on the market that help you generate videos and marketing tools. Also look at those unlikely tools like the Instagram and the TikTok and the Facebook. And even WhatsApp uses AI technology as well. For those who don't know, it does that. So that would be kind of my recommendations for tools to be on the lookout for that do have the AI capabilities embedded that can help you leverage and find your customers quickly and more efficiently.
Beautiful. Thank you, Flo. TC, any tools that you'd like to add to the list that you're using today?
Yes, okay. I love to talk about tools, right? Because I play around with so many of them. But I'll be very specific. So right now, because we work with virtual assistants, a couple of businesses and all of that. So we do so much of project management and all of that. And we use ClickUp to get this done. So the good thing about ClickUp is it is highly AI infiltrated, right? So you can integrate so many things, so many of your regular favorite tools like your calendar, because that you're able to stay up to date, right, with your team, even if you don't have currently because obviously we're all starting up, right? So if you have maybe a virtual assistant somewhere, or it's just you in your business, you can get yourself accountable, get yourself staying on top of things in your business without necessarily maybe outsourcing these things to people. So it's like you're assigning tasks to yourself, making things easier for you to achieve, right? Now, with this particular tool, you're able to get so much done without conflicting each other, right? So if you're working maybe on a new launch or a new project, it keeps you up to date, helps you stay accountable, and helps you manage your expectations, right? Like I said, you can integrate so many things into this tool. Your communication tool, either Slack, WhatsApp, Google, your calendar. Think about your regular tool, right? You can get it, your Google Drive, right? Your Zoom, all of it can be integrated so you're able to have a seamless flow of communication with either your customers, with yourself. Okay, so we use ClickUp. I know I kept talking about integration. So because we work with so many business owners that are working on their launches, their funnels, their systems, you know, there's always a need for integration once in a while. Now, if you're thinking of integration, I love Zappa because it helps with integrations, right? It just helps you put in, you have like all of this disjointed, you know, points, you put them all together, and then it has like this seamless one line flow. And so it's just click, 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 right? And then you have nothing to worry about, really. So sometimes people are like, you know what, I want to integrate my email marketing tool to my this particular tool. What do I do? Because it's all scattered everywhere. Now with this particular integrator, I call it an amazing integrator, kind of bring all of these different little tools together, put them into one space, right? And just gives you the best experience. Yeah, there are a couple of them. I love Copy AI because it's seamless, right? And it has an amazing SEO functionality. You can build your entire email sequence. You can build your blogs, you can write your blogs, you can do so many things, right? But you should understand that all of these tools can only give you what you want it to do once you're able to optimize all of its functionalities. So figure out what these tools can do for you, right? So you're able to get the best out of it. But yeah, those are like the 3 tools I can, because yes, the tools are so much, right? So many tools, right? But you want to start with that to get your business started.
So good. Thank you so much, TC. And I love how you keep reminding us that like the tools can only do what you want it to do. Because yeah, it's that grounding, right? Like it still needs you, right? This helps your team operate in their zones of genius, right? So instead of paying somebody 6 hours to do something, you can pay them 6 hours for 1 hour, right? Like build, but 5 hours think and be creative and like grow your business. Super fire. All right, this time has flown by. We are now at the end, and I appreciate all of the knowledge that you ladies have dropped. To close this out, I want to really hold space for this topic around ethics, right? Especially as Black women, right? Who in all parts of the world often are the last rung on the ladder, right? We're the afterthought once things go bad. And it's like, oh, that did damage them. Oh man, that did mess up their mental health, right? So I'd love to get your raw opinions, right, on this thing called ethics as we think about technology, right? Chat GPT specifically, this didn't get a lot of press, which kind of infuriates me. But at the end of the year, you know, they were in some news outlets about how OpenAI, the parent company of Chat GPT, that product, they actually sent their nastiest, darkest, most vile things that come up on the web from searches to Kenya. They sent it to this firm in Kenya to hire a bunch of people for about $2 an hour, a little less than $2 an hour, to sift through all of the vile, nasty stuff that comes up from the internet so they could tag it as inappropriate. So they could tag it as, don't send this back when people ask a question, right? And as you all can probably guess, there were side effects of this. The workers actually had mental health crises, right? Some people had vile images in their head of things I won't say right now, but you can imagine, right? Vile things with children, vile things with animals, vile things with strangers, right? And they could not get those cycles out of their head. And so though they made some money, right, for this project, and though they were the ones that helped ChatGPT commercialize their product, commercializing it, meaning it can now be consumed by anyone in the world and they have to worry about, right, these types of things, there was a cost, there was a side effect, right? So I just love to get some of your raw reactions, TC and Flo, around some of the things we should consider to make sure that we can do our level best, to make sure that our communities are protected, right? And do our level best to make sure that our voice is in the game, to ensure that impacts to us, especially Black women, aren't an afterthought. TC, anything you want to share in closing? I'll start with you. What are some of the things we can do to protect our people as technology and AI advances?
Okay, so there's so many tools out there. There's so many people showing up, you know, creating these tools. As much as AI can be an amazing revolution when it comes down to entrepreneurship, when it comes down to the beauty that life has, you know, it can also be a pretty good, I do not want to call it a menace, but it could be such a huge damage, right? It could play and cause so much damage if care is not taken. So as much as possible, you want to protect yourself, right? By doing your own research. So many tools are going to be coming up, right? So before you plug into any certain tool, do your research. Figure out what exactly you want to achieve first. So I'll give you an example, Casey, right? When people reach out to me to say, TC, I want to do something, right? Or maybe I want to build a funnel, right? What tool do I need? My first question is, what do you want to achieve? What's your goal, right? And you answer that, and I'm asking the second question. Now you've told me your goal. What are your expectations? Now, these are two questions you want to ask yourself to figure out what tool you should go out for. Because you see, not all AI tool are good tools for you to leverage on. I literally came across a particular AI tool that, you know, does this. I don't want to say it here because it's not good, right? To say here, but it was like, I'm like, and it was supposed to be cartoon kind of, you know, and I'm like, kids are going to be attracted to this, and all in the name of AI. And I'm like, the first thing that came to my mind were my kids, because those are the kind of things my kids are literally attracted to. And it's technology, and they're so good with their phones, their iPads. And I'm like, you know, so we want to be able to put a level of control, right? Keep educating ourselves, keep telling ourselves that AI, right? We are in control of AI and not the other way around. That's what I have to say.
Love that. Thank you, TC. Flo, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think TC made some excellent points. I think definitely what we need to remember is that AI is great, but it also comes with, some risks. And one of the things that we've just got to be careful of, it's still kind of like any emerging technology, right? So there's still a lot that we are still learning about AI. And I know most recently there's been kind of articles coming out saying, we need to put a pause, like a 6-month pause on AI, because it's just coming in at a rapid pace. And it's hard also for regulators, right? It's hard for regulators to keep up. We don't have across the United States uniform laws and regulations as they relate to artificial intelligence. So that's the other concern, is we're having all this technology, and some of it has some biases, some of it has some discrimination. I mean, Casey, earlier you mentioned, some of these AI tools sometimes have these, it could be intentional and it could also be unintentional biases. AI, some of Mid-Journey, or there was another Prisma AI that had come out, and people were uploading their photos, and then the AI would kind of create an avatar. But what was happening, that we were noticing kind of like some discrepancies when it came to people of color, or to women, Asian women, for example. It was spitting out images that were, for example, with Asian women, it was spitting out images that were more kind of very provocative and highly sexual. And then for Black women, it was spitting out images where they were looking lighter, more white, versus their true colors. So there's still a lot of work that has to be done in regards to regulating AI. And because it's coming out at a really fast pace, it is difficult for those regulators to keep up. And this is where it's going to be really critical for more people to really essentially say, hey, hold up. We need to really focus on imposing some type of regulation when it comes to the AI, and really vet it. Because what you mentioned, what was going on in Kenya, I saw that. I saw what was going on. But the things that we don't talk about also is that, AI can also give instructions on the best way to commit suicide. So there's those dangers there, that questions like that, how to create a bomb, how to rob a bank, how to create, using, like right now we also have cybersecurity issues. And we got to remember that with the cybersecurity threats, those bad players are using artificial intelligence to figure out how to break into our networks, and as business owners, small businesses are the #1 targeted businesses when it comes to cybersecurity bad players, so there's all that. And it starts with, as TC said, we really, as individuals, have to not just hit the upload button or the download button until we fully understand, this AI product that I want to use, what is the objective for my business? What do I want to use it for? In addition, some of the questions as business owners, before we purchase or start using some of these products, we need to understand how they were created in the first place. Right. Remember, I told you there are biases and discrimination in some of this technology. So you want to ask those questions like, hey, what training models were used to create this AI system, this AI algorithm? Some of the talk that we're seeing in terms of regulation is, putting in kind of like a certification, putting a certification of some of these AI products that say this AI product has been vetted. It's good to go. You can use it. There are no issues, but we're not there yet, right? So maybe us, as influencers, we can push for that to say, hey, because there are so many AI products on the market, we demand that we have certification, right? Certification that these products have been vetted for biases, discrimination, harmful content, because what you mentioned, what was going on in Kenya, that's harmful content. that they're essentially were tasked with having to vet and tag. So there's still a lot of work. AI is good. I will continue pushing for artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies, but I also always caution that we've got to be careful where we are making sure that we are taking full responsibility ourselves as users, right? We can't just do the blame game. As users, we have to take full responsibility of vetting products that we're using for our businesses, especially if we are a business that collects consumer data, right? We've got to remember, we've got to not only protect ourselves, but we also have to protect our customers. And that is on us as business owners and consumers to educate ourselves on the technologies that we're using, how they impact our business, and how they can have a potential impact as well on our consumers. So it comes with the education of not just, again, don't just hit download and upload, but take your time to vet to see, hey, are there any consequences of using this? What are the data protections for me and my consumers? Where is the data they're collecting and going? You know, where is my data going? Because we've seen, you know, other companies telling their employees don't use ChatGPT. Why? Because some of their trade secrets were being exposed on ChatGPT. So that's the other thing you got to ask. Am I being protected? Is my data being protected from someone potentially leaking it out, you know, to my competitors? So technology is great, but there's so many other kind of steps that we've got to take for assurances to make sure that we're using and having good tech hygiene. And having good tech hygiene starts with us educating ourselves a little bit better. You might be like, oh, but Flo, you know, I'm not a techie. I don't understand this stuff, but that's okay. You don't have to understand it 100%, but you've got to, at least as a business owner, ask the critical questions that will protect you from lawsuits that could potentially close down your business because you didn't take that critical step to ask the right questions. So that will be kind of like my feedback on how to use technology to be productive, but also to be cautious about, you know, how some of that technology might impact your business as well as your customers.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Flo. So many incredible nuggets in that. And as always, from so many different angles, thank you so much, TC, for talking about the steps that you take to make sure you're giving folks what they need and not a bunch of extra stuff that exposes them unnecessarily. I've loved this conversation. You know, if I can give my last 2 cents around, you know, this topic around ethics, I just want to remind every person listening that you do not need to be consumed or addicted to technology, much like you don't have to be consumed and addicted to social media. Remember to stay grounded. Remember that the end game is not necessarily about piling up a bunch of money, right? If it is extra family time you want, right? Like, use this stuff to get more of that, and then you're good. Once you've arrived, right? If it is about breaking into a new industry, right? Once you got there, you don't have to, you know, be glued like a robot, right? Just use these. I'll quote Solange in her song "Weary" from Seat at the Table album. She said, "I'm gonna look for my body. I'll be back real soon. I'm gonna look for my body." She kept saying it. Like, there is so much wisdom and glory in that, right? Like, we are not meant to live to produce and die, right? Life is about so much more. And so as life gets easier because of artificial intelligence and because of these tools and automation and integrations, right? Make sure you stay grounded in your body so that enough is enough, right? And you can use your intuition to say, oh, this is a little fishy right here. They asking for too much. And say no, let your no be no. Y'all got it. I'm so proud of you. Flo and TC, you all are absolutely phenomenal. We are absolutely blessed to hear from your intelligence, your lens, your experience. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And please keep going, because you're going to help a whole lot of us. Everyone else, keep it locked. We have more to come. See you in the next session. Bye.